HelloFresh is saying goodbye? Yeah, unfortunately, they are. They are laying off approximately 273 workers at its distribution center in Grand Prairie, Texas. That'll be effective May 13th. This is according to a notice that was actually filed with the Department of Labor in Texas, because usually if you lay off more than 50 people, you have to notify the state. Now, this is just kind of one instance in kind of a long series, because over the last 2 years, HelloFresh has actually been laying people off all over the place. There was a little bit of questionable about they were using like um, temp workers, like hiring workers from a temp agency and just saying, we don't need your temp workers anymore. So what does this mean, though, for HelloFresh? Well, it's not that great, okay? According to some recent information, since the start of 2025, so we're talking about 3 months in, HelloFresh's stock is down 37%, which is a lot, okay? But it's actually up 19% compared to last year. So that just tells you we're not doing so good, okay? Yeah. Um, it says here that in 2024, HelloFresh's revenue grew by just under 1%. I can tell you that when you're $1 billion company, you want to grow by more than 1%. Okay. Now, it says here that they've been expanding their average order value, which is offsetting the decline in orders. So, yeah, they're getting people to pay more, but they're not selling more, unfortunately. And what I did find really interesting about this is it kind of gave a deep dive on the history of HelloFresh. First, I did not realize that HelloFresh was founded in Berlin in 2011. I did not realize that HelloFresh is in a gazillion different countries. We're talking about Austria, Switzerland, New Zealand, France, Denmark, Australia. I mean, like all over the place. And that just last year in 2024, HelloFresh delivered close to 1 billion meals globally. That's insane to me. That's huge. Mammoth.
I've actually used HelloFresh, and I can kind of see why things have declined over the years. Like, just because for me, the things that we look for in a service is variety and different like types of recipes.
Mhm.
And we found HelloFresh to be
Kind of boring.
kind of boring, a little redundant, honestly.
Yeah.
And it's it reached a point where I wasn't receiving any notifications to change my menu, so I was just getting the same things auto shipped to me, the same like 5 items, but in sets of three because we ordered 3 meals, so I'd get three and then they'd overlap. So like I think they've got bigger issues.
Yeah. Okay, so they're 14 years old, and I have not used HelloFresh in probably 5 years. Okay. They used to have some really good deals, but now the way that their deal structures work, like you get a little bit of discount at the beginning, a little bit less discount in the middle, and your biggest discount is towards the end, which makes sense because so many people would just get a really good box deal and then never come back. So I get why they do it. I just don't think that it's enough to want to hook people to try it. Now, they did come out. So, normally, HelloFresh, they send you fresh ingredients. It's in a box with like ice packs, and it's got fresh produce and, different meats and basically everything you would need except for a few basics. Well, they came out with HelloFresh ready meals. Basically, they cook it for you. And so it was almost kind of like when you go into the grocery store and you get those little like meal prep, like little plastic containers that already have everything ready to go, which is awesome. Like, hey, you like really good food and you just want to be able to heat it up like leftovers. Cause that's kind of what it reminds me of. It's like leftovers. Like
Yeah,
mom made it for you and put it in the fridge and boom, it's there to go. So if you were like a young professional or, somebody who is single, totally see this being an option.
Yeah.
But you pay a premium price for this convenience. So
For sure.
I get the ready made meals being really expensive, but I look just for giggles, and to get 6 dinners for 4 people is going to cost $240 for 1 week. 1 week. Now, on my website and on my social media, I put out a new menu every week for 6 dinners for 4 people, and it costs $60.
Yeah.
So the convenience of having this food delivered to your door that you still have to cook, you still have to make it, is going to cost you 4 times the amount of what you could just go out and buy groceries for with doing some
So,
smart shopping.
so I am a box user, and I don't know. Yeah, we use Green Chef, and Green Chef has been great. Like the
Is it
amount of
bougie?
it's a little bougie.
Yeah, I
Leave me,
figured.
leave me alone. So, so ever since COVID, like COVID during COVID, fantastic. I made tons of meals, cooked in bulk. I made sauce, had it scratch. I am a great cook. Let's not get this twisted. I am a fantastic cook. People are like, I don't know how you do such great things in this tiny little kitchen of yours because I'm
That
awesome.
is true. You have like a matchbook size kitchen. It is like
I do.
teeny. You have like one cabinet, one,
It's not that small.
like you have enough
It's
counter
really small.
space for a cutting board, and that's about it. So I
I
am highly impressed with the caliber of cooking you get in your like kitchenette. Not even a full
my
kitchen.
Paul. It's a full kitchen. It's just a little Polly Pocket, okay?
Yes,
So
it is a Polly Pocket kitchen.
I have a countertop. It's marble. Leave me, anyways, whatever. So regardless, like ever since COVID, I've just had like decision fatigue when it comes to food. And so basically, I need somebody to baby me, like send me the recipe card with the food and let me look through a list of things, what I want. I'll pull it and I'm done. Like I just, and it saved us a lot of eating out. It saves us and makes what we're eating more nutritional. And then I can supplement and cook 3 other days a week that isn't going to
It
break my
takes the
brain.
pressure off
A
because you know
hundred
that they
percent.
got 4 covered. You just got to come up with 2, possibly 3.
I
But I
do
will
three
say,
and
you
then
made
we
a
do
good
three.
point. You mentioned during COVID. Okay.
Mhm.
Now, in 2011, when they first started, the idea of having groceries delivered to your door was truly innovative because back in
Yeah,
2011, Kroger, Walmart, Target, all those places weren't doing online grocery orders.
right.
You couldn't do the pickup. You sure as heck couldn't do delivery. So they were one of a kind, you
Yeah.
know. But fast forward to 2025, and dang near every single grocery store in the US will allow you to do online grocery shopping. If they don't, they partner with Instacart, who will still do it for you. You can
Just
either
at
go
premium.
curbside and pick it up when it's convenient, or you can just have it delivered to your door. So then that brings up the only real issue is the recipes. And I know for a fact on Pinterest, there's tons of HelloFresh recipes from the last 14 years. They
Yeah.
give you, so you could literally go pull up their recipes, pick out one that sounds good, add it to your to-go order on your grocery store, and boom, you have a HelloFresh order that easily probably cost you half of just paying HelloFresh. So I think they've just priced themselves out of their service market.
Yeah. But and they're not, I don't feel like they're actually innovating or bringing anything fresh to the table. Like when I look at their recipes, like we compared before we did this, we compared between HelloFresh and Green Chef and just the difference in their recipes. And I don't even know if HelloFresh offers customizations as far as protein types or adding extra vegetables or anything like that. So if
They
it's
offer
stagnant,
upgrades. Like if you
oh,
want to do a meal with chicken, regular price. You want to add steak, you're going to pay extra.
okay. Some of that I can see, some of that, like, it, they didn't used to offer where you could change proteins. So even that's new, which is good. They're at least upgrading their services a little bit, but like in the great scheme of things, I wasn't even after being gone from them for the last couple of years, because we've tried a couple of other services, because again, my F's are gone. Um, it's, I wasn't impressed. And
Yeah.
so people who were customers for a long time that became unimpressed, it takes a lot more to bring us back in.
Well, I will say I have two major complaints with um we tried, what is it, Blue Apron, which actually I think is
Mhm.
owned by HelloFresh. And that's the
Might be,
funny thing.
yeah.
A lot of them are have different names, but they're actually owned by the same company, because part of it is the reason why they offer a specific vegetable this week is because they got a great deal on it in bulk, you know?
Yeah.
So they were using their leverage there, and that was kind of shaping their menus. But my issue is, so you get this, this big, beautiful box. It's full of all this stuff. It's amazing. But it seemed like every single dinner took at least 30 minutes of just chopping. I mean, chopping
No.
everything. And
Yeah.
then there were some dinners that I made that it required 17 pans. It required the stove top, the oven, the toaster, the microwave. I mean, like, it was, I literally used
Yeah.
everything in my kitchen, and I just felt it was such an inefficient way to cook.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I mean, some of their food was great, some of it was kind of like eh. But
Mm.
then, so it took you easily an hour and a gazillion dishes later. And then you'd sit down to eat, and the portions were so skimpy.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm going to make that big of a mess and it's going to take me that long to cook it, it better be
Yeah.
substantially big food. At
Yeah.
least
I
enough for
agree.
leftovers for lunch the next day.
At least for one person. Like, and if you're gonna portion down to exactly what the individual serving size is, your prices should reflect that. And the
Yeah.
price, honestly, it doesn't. It doesn't
No.
compensate for the actual. Like, I get that there's the overhead of all of the operations. That's not lost on me, but I feel like it's over a threshold of reasonable expectation. Does that make
It
sense?
is. It really is. Because when you think about it, okay, if you have 6 meals that each serve 4 people, that's
Hmm.
24 servings. Okay. And
Yeah.
it's going to be $240. That's $10 per serving. Okay. That's insanity. Okay. Now, that's granted, that's their prices without any deals. But I mean, you could go to a fast casual restaurant and pay $10. You go to Chili's and get a 9.99 deal for a dinner. And then I don't have to chop
Maybe.
anything. I don't have to make a mess. And it's going to be a freaking pretty huge size. So I'm just saying, I really feel like their pricing is not helping. And really, their innovation isn't that great.
Yeah, they've got some work to do, and it shows. So
Yeah.
I
Let
think
us
downsizing will help.
Yeah, let us know down below. Are you a HelloFresh fan? What do you think is the downside of HelloFresh and what's making them lose, market share and just making any money? Let us know down below.